Welcome to our Wednesday night team call. I'm super excited today because we get to have a guest speaker. Her name is Tiffaney Beverly, and she is a former #1 income earner, a top 60 income earner in the world, 7-time GoPro keynote speaker, and she is now a direct sales transformation expert. And she is on this call today to share her words of wisdom with us and speak about how 2021 is still our best year yet, which I think is such a great topic for where we're at in our businesses right now. And I can't wait to hear what she has to say. So let's all give a warm welcome to Tiffaney.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Good to see you guys. Julie, thank you so much for the introduction, and I'm very excited to be here with all of you tonight. It is truly an honor to see so many new faces and see so many of you. Thank you, Shahade. It is really awesome to see so many of you on, and I'm excited to share with you. So I'll tell you, before we get started, I like to do a little housekeeping. So if you guys don't mind, if you get some aha moments or some breakthroughs while I'm speaking to you in the short time tonight, could you find the light bulbs on your keyboard or on your device and drop light bulbs? So that's my way of knowing, because I know everyone can't unmute themselves. That's my way of knowing that somebody's getting something, and I'm helping you in some way. The second thing is, if you love anything I say, if you love my message or love my style of giving it, drop some yellow hearts in the keyboard. Any heart is fine. Drop some hearts. And if you feel that anything I'm sharing with you is going to make you some money, because that's what I do. I transform businesses and bank accounts. If you feel anything's going to make you some money, I need you guys to find the money bag and drop money bags, money bags, money bags, okay? Because that's what I'm here to share with you guys tonight. Some information that literally can transform your mindset. I love it, Jessica. Your mindset and your businesses, and like I said, your bank account. I'll start by letting you know, my name is Tiffaney Beverly, and I have been part of the network marketing direct sales profession for 21 years now. I used to actually work in a factory. I made jelly for a living. That's right, you heard right. I used to make the jelly that you put on your bread. I worked for the J.M. Smucker Company. So I worked in a factory on third shift. And it wasn't that it was a bad way to make a living. It just wasn't always a really great way to make a living. And I'll be honest, I wasn't looking for an opportunity. I wasn't looking for a way to make extra money, because I could sign up for overtime. That's what I had been taught to do. Work more if you want to make more. And I was actually taught, probably like many of you, to just go to school, get good grades so you could get into college and get a good job, and that would solve all your problems. And that's what I did. I went to school, I got good grades, I got a full scholarship, I graduated from college with a business degree, and I entered into management and manufacturing and found myself thinking that I would live the American dream, and it wasn't like that at all. I was working 12 hours a night, sometimes 7 nights a week, and I really felt there was something more for me, but I did not know what it looked like. And so by chance, I was on a vacation with my sister, and I met a gentleman who had his own business. Now, I'm a business major, so anyone who has their own business, I'm excited, I'm intrigued, and this time was no different. And so I asked him questions about his company, and he shared with me that his situation sounded a lot like mine at the time. But he actually said he would send me information on his company, and I was extremely excited. So he sent me an audio cassette. So y'all can see how old I am in network marketing, right? Like 462 in dog years. He's like, I had an audio cassette, a VHS tape. He sent me this little flip chart with some information, like a big brochure. And then he sent me copies of his 4 checks from the month of January, because we still did checks back then. And all I looked at was the checks. He actually earned more money in 1 month than I earned in 6 months on my job. Now, if you met someone who earned more money in 1 month than you earn in 6 months on your job, would you not be interested in what they did for a living, right? Especially if it was legal, right? Even if it was illegal, you might look at it anyway, because it's been the pandemic, right? So that's where I was 21 years ago. And thankfully, it was just a home-based business. So of course it was legal. It was my first introduction to network marketing. And I decided to give it a try, much to the chagrin of my mom, my sisters, my coworkers. I decided, here's my first tip for you. If I wanted more, I was going to have to do more. And that's what I made a decision to do. I decided that I wanted more out of life, and so I was willing to do more. And so I invested in an opportunity, and that changed everything for me. Now, let me share with you why this was such a huge deal. I went into manufacturing. My father had actually worked in manufacturing for almost 30 years before he passed away the year before. And on my dad's deathbed, he asked me how work was going. And I told him, you know, it's going like it's what we do. And then he said, you know, Tiff, I think there's a better way to make a six-figure income. And I said, what do you mean? This is what we do. And I said, what would that look like? He said, I don't know, make something, sell something, just do something. I don't think you have to work overtime for the rest of your life. And so a year almost to the day of my father's passing, I met this gentleman and I decided to make something, sell something, just do something. And I got started in that company a few weeks after I was introduced, and I made $1,000 my first month. And I'm gonna tell you that comma in my check made me believe in a way I'd never believed before, because I never thought that I was special. I never thought I was one of those people, you know, the people who got rich, who lived in the big houses, who had to travel the world, who didn't worry about money. I just thought I was a college educated, hardworking human being. And I had a plan to work to become a plant manager. And that would take about 15 to 20 years. And then I would start making 100 to 200,000 a year. Well, I'm gonna speed this part of my story up. What I was willing to work 15 to 20 years for, network marketing helped me do in 3 years. I went from $1,000 a month to exceeding my full-time income in 6 months on my job. And then I made a six-figure income since 2003, which was 3 years later. And I have never made less than $100,000 a year in my life. That's the last time. 140,000 was the worst year I've ever had since. And I don't say that to impress you. I say it to impress upon you that that was going to be my ceiling. That was my big goal. That was me reaching for the stars. And the profession that I chose, the profession that you have chosen, took the lid off of it. It obliterated a glass ceiling, expanded my mind to where I've never been able to think any other way but entrepreneurship again. And it turned me into a serial entrepreneur. That six-figure income turned into 6 figures a year, turned into 6 figures every 6 months. It turned into 6 figures a month and 6 figures a week. And I became a millionaire about 9 years later in my first 12 years in this profession. And I was able, my best part of my story is I was able to help a lot of other people, in fact, over 100 people reach a multiple 6-figure income and 7-figure annual income as well. I say all of this not to impress you, but to impress upon you that I was the most average person you could ever meet. I was so regular. I drove a 96 Volkswagen Jetta that was always dirty with no hubcaps. I literally worked in the middle of the night and while everyone else was asleep. I graduated from college with a degree. I had the student loans to prove it, and I had forgotten how to dream. I had forgotten how to say, why can't I have it? I had forgotten how to say, sure, you're no better, they're no better than you. I had forgotten that this was a chance for me to live my very best life, and I only had one shot at it. And I was about to go to the grave with so many dreams, so many ideas, and so much of my power still in me until I found this profession. And so I want to first start off and let you know that 2021 is still your best year because you have chosen a profession that can allow you to have that. And I know a lot of people join this profession for a lot of different reasons. Some people just want free products. Some people just want to pay a light bill. Some people just want to have some fun and meet new people. But it doesn't matter how you started. I'm going to tell you what you can get out of it. Because I didn't have big dreams. I didn't even try to get $1,000 my first month. I literally just wanted to see if it would work. I literally just wanted my investment back. And I wanted to be able to look at my friends, my family members and say, see, I told you it would work. And it turned into me becoming a millionaire. And it turned into me actually being the first person in my family to be an entrepreneur. And now there are 3 generations of entrepreneurs in my family today. And so what I need you to understand is this is your best year because you've made one of the best decisions you could make to actually do what you want to do, to actually decide what your life will look like, and to actually take this small little side hustle, side gig, little business that people may be making fun of and change everything, not just for you, but your entire family tree. And so the first thing I need you to understand is that I don't know why you thought you made the decision, but you made the decision to join this because there is a purpose and a plan for you in this company. Maybe you don't become a millionaire, but you will help others with your products. You will help others with this opportunity, and you will help yourself and your family, if nothing else, make some extra money and believe again. Somebody has got to be the first one to believe. Would you guys agree with me on that? If you agree with me on that, put I agree. Somebody's got to be the one that breaks that generational curse. Someone's got to be the one that says, we don't have to stay in factories as a family. Someone has to be that one. And you thought you joined for free products. You joined because you were supposed to be the person to break that chain. Now, I will tell you this. I get really excited, so if I scare you a little bit, I'm sorry. But when I think about all the lives that have been changed, and when I think about where I would be right now if someone hadn't told me about this opportunity, I don't know what my life would look like. First of all, I would have been from factory to factory, because the truth is that factory that I wanted to become the plant manager of closed down 5 years later. That factory closed down 5 years later. So I would have had to jump to another factory. And I can't even imagine what it would look like living in pandemic, having to work in a factory, having to choose the path that I had chosen. And I know for sure I would not have been able to take care of my daughter. I would not have been able to be a stay-at-home mom since the day she was born. I would not have been able to work from home. I would not have been able to give my daughter the life that I only dreamed of. I would not have been able to make sure my daughter had 15 stamps on her passport by the time she was 10, when I didn't get a passport until I was 30. Because of this decision, it opened my heart, it opened my mind, and it opened up possibilities, not just for me, but for everyone that I get a chance to meet and everyone that I love. So I'm gonna start off by I'm gonna give you guys a few steps here. And I want everyone please to receive what I'm saying. I will tell you this, I'm not a motivational speaker. I am not here to pump you up. I am a transformational speaker. And I am here hopefully to change one little thing that you might have been thinking about yourself. One little thing you might have been thinking, Tamara, that's one of my divas. One little thing you might have been thinking about your opportunity or yourself in it or your future or the plan. I am here to hopefully change one thing. And if I can change one thing, if I did, then you let me know you changed one thing before I leave here today, just one thing. And so if you don't get pumped up, that's fine. But if you do something about it after I speak to you, that was why I was asked to be on this call tonight. So for those of you who are thinking, that sounds good, but I don't know. I can relate because that was me 21 years ago. I never was number one in anything. I never won contests. I never got employee of the month. Like when I say mediocre, that was like my middle name. And so I never got any of that, but it was this opportunity that helped me. And so I walked into this profession really thinking that I was just gonna see how it goes. But I didn't think I was called to do something great. And maybe you're thinking that too. But I just wanna remind you that he doesn't call the equipped. He equips the called. And you thought you joined for free products. You thought you joined just for a little extra money. But you have joined for something much bigger and greater. Now, I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's $1 million here or starting another business or empowering someone else. But the first thing I need you to do is believe that there is a greater plan for you being here. I need you to do that. And if you could receive that, just say, I receive it, Tiff. Just put it in the chat and let me know. Because when you don't believe, then it's hard to make anything happen. It's hard to make greatness happen when you don't believe greatness is in you. And I can tell you right now, I don't need to know you to tell you that greatness is in you. I don't need to know your background. I don't need to know your name. I don't need to know anything about you, because that's what he did. He only makes greatness, and it's up to us to pull it out. So let me give you some tips on why 2021 is still your very best year, the best year you've ever had in your life. Who needs 2021 to be the best year? Anybody need? I saw you, Corey. Your eyes went up. Hallelujah, sis. We need a best year. Have we not had a bad year already? Have we not had a year that we are over, right? I'm over it. But let me tell you why 2021 is your best year. The first thing, I'm gonna give you proof. You are still here. You are still here. And I think some of us are not remembering that there are a lot of people who didn't make it into 2021. I think there are a lot of us who have just kind of taken for granted that we went through a worldwide pandemic that killed over 1 million people. I think a lot of us are still not appreciating and remembering the fact that we have a roof over our heads and Wi-Fi so you can listen to me right now. And that's already proof that this is your year. Because I know too many people who are living in homes and basements of other people because they lost their home last year. I know too many people who are working multiple jobs, from Postmates to a side gig here and there, anywhere, just so they can make some extra income, because they lost everything last year. And if you can comfortably sit where you are right now, and if you can sit on a device with some Wi-Fi and have a roof over your head, this is already your best year. And let me tell you why I take that so seriously. Because January 2020, I was hit by a car. I was just jogging. New year, new me. I was like, let me get my body right. You know, I'm single. I got to get me a man. I had no idea what 2020 was going to bring. I thought I was just going to lose some weight and get a man. That's literally, that was my goal. And I literally was jogging and a car hit me so hard I rolled over it 4 times. I live in Las Vegas. This happens all too often. Everyone in Vegas needs to take a driver's class, but I mean, a driver's ed all over again, but I digress. I will tell you that when a person is hit by a car, it's a 50-50 chance that they will lose their life. And that's what was shared with me, because as I sat in the emergency room and one of those TVs were on, there was a news report going, and they had said that a man had just been hit by a car at an intersection in Las Vegas, not far from where I live, and he had died. And I had been hit that same afternoon, and I was alive sitting in that waiting room. And I had a cracked hip and a cracked pelvis, but I was alive. I was told that I would never walk unassisted again. I walked out of there on a walker, and I literally could not stand up on my own without that walker for almost 3 months. That's what happened. But do you know, I decided last year that this was going to be my best year. Because if God spared my life, if I was that 50-50, that 50% that got a chance to get up again, I was not going to waste that year. So 2020 was going to be my best year. And everything that was thrown at us, I just took it as another obstacle that I would actually overcome and make it my opportunity. And if you got a chance to be here, if you woke up this morning, if you lived through that pandemic, if you can still kiss people that you love, if you could still sit here and listen to my voice, it's already your best year. And if you believe it's already your best year, I need you to drop it in the chat. I believe, because this is your best year already. And I'm going to give you some steps on how to fulfill and make it the best year you've ever had. Thank you, Julie. So that's the first thing. Let me tell y'all something else that happened in 2020. Do you know in 2020, the world welcomed 412 new billionaires? In 2020, 412 new billionaires. It blows my mind, because if you're not careful, you would have thought there was no opportunity last year. If you weren't careful, you would have thought that everybody was struggling last year. You would have thought that everyone was just trying to stay safe last year. But the world ushered in 412 new billionaires. And the truth is, that was one of the largest number of billionaires the world has ever seen. And what that tells me is that it doesn't matter what the obstacle is, we can turn it into an opportunity. So whatever you're facing right now, you may think, Tiffaney, I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire either. But what I am telling you is, if they can go from whatever they were to billionaire, you can go from wherever you are to wherever you want to go. Does that make sense? So that is proof that no matter how hard the year is, if you decide it is yours, it is yours. And I know this may be hard for somebody. I know it may be hard because you're looking at what you have in front of you. You may be looking at bills stacked up. You may be looking at health issues. You may be looking at relationships issues. Let me give you something you should do right now to prove that 2021 is yours. The first thing you have to do is you have to think it and believe it. You have to think it. Just think it. Just think, why shouldn't it be my best year? Why shouldn't this be the year that everyone goes, whoa, where did she come from? Because if you allow yourself to think it, your subconscious will start working on it. I need you to understand that your subconscious is your personal supercomputer. It's your personal supercomputer. It works for you. The problem is it needs to be programmed. And the bigger problem is that we are not all the time controlling our code. We're not always programming our computer. We are programming it either with bad stuff or letting other people program it. Proof. There are a lot of people who are not saying, this is my best year. 2021 is my year. I'm going to hit this rank. I'm going to make this money. I'm going to visit this place. A lot of people aren't doing that. Instead, what they're feeding their subconscious is there are a lot of problems. There are a lot of jobs lost. Oh, my business is slow. Nobody wants to buy this. People don't want to join my opportunity. And you know what your subconscious says? You're right. Okay. Because your subconscious doesn't argue with you. It doesn't argue with you. Whatever you tell it, good or bad, it says, okay. And it actually helps you manifest exactly what you said. So whatever you're thinking right now, that's what your subconscious is believing. And that's why the first step, even if it's hard, because I'm going to give you some more steps, even if it's hard, I need you to think, this is my best year. It's already my best year. I can literally tell my kids and grandkids, I made it through a pandemic. Sit down and listen to what I have to say. We could literally say it. It's already our best year, but you need to think it first. The next thing you need to do is you need to write it down. You need to write it down. You guys have heard it. Write down the vision and make it plain. Write it on tables so that he that seeth can run. You're supposed to write it down. That's not just from something from on high. That's for you. That's right. Volcano, I don't know who that was. And more than a vision board, we're going to put some words to it, Tracy. You've got to write it down. Make it plain so that who sees it can run. And you know what run means? It actually in that scripture means to take action. Now, I hope y'all don't mind me preach a little bit, but I've been studying this, like literally went through the whole thing. And I said to myself, that's crazy, because if you can see it, if it's plain, I literally read a commentary on that word. And it actually said it was supposed to be written down so simply that anyone who saw it could run, could take action on it. They didn't need special education. They didn't need special skills. They didn't need a special pedigree. They did not need to be born in a royal family. Anybody, even a jelly maker, driving a dirty Jetta with no hubcaps, even a stay-at-home mom, even a single mom raising kids on her own, even someone who doesn't have education, write down the vision, and you write down that vision, make it plain, and you will be able to run towards your vision. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to think it. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to write it down. You've got to write it down. I'm going to ask you guys to do this for me. Please write it down. Can I tell you honestly that I didn't used to write things down. I didn't used to make goals. You know why? Because I actually was afraid I would fail. And so why would I put it out there so I could just fail and look like a fool and disappoint myself? So I conditioned myself to expect nothing so I would not ever have my feelings hurt and be disappointed. But do you know what actually happened? When I expected nothing, I got nothing. And my subconscious couldn't work on anything for me at all. You are going to have to control the code. You are going to have to program your subconscious. You are going to have to write this next chapter. You have to be the one to say, this is how this story goes. Because if you don't, you know who will? Your negative friends, your unbelieving family members, the news, social media, everybody around you who doesn't believe in themselves will actually control your code for you. But if you write it down, you get a chance to. So here's your first homework assignment. You've got to write down what you want. And you've got to write it down in present tense like it's already happened. I earned, I have, and it should scare you to death. You should look at it and go, oh my goodness, what was I thinking? That means it's a good one. that means it's a good one. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to actually see it. You're going to see it. And the way you're going to do that is, this is where the dream board comes in. Now, you don't have to do a whole big old dream board. My office, I'm sitting in here now, and I've just got pictures everywhere, words, pictures everywhere. So when I see it, that's what I receive. I've written it down, I made it plain. That's what I see. And do you know why I do that? Because I must surround my current circumstances with the situation and circumstances I want. You must surround your present with the future you desire. Do you know what most people are surrounding their present with? With the future they don't want. They're looking at the bills, they're looking at the news, they're looking at all the problems, but you can put up what you want. So your subconscious goes, oh, that's the house we're buying. Okay, yeah, well, we need to get on that. That's the car she's gonna drive by the end of the year. Okay, well, we need to step it up a little bit. And do you know what your subconscious starts doing? It starts moving you to take action you've never taken before. It actually tells you to wake up earlier. You are now not hitting the snooze button. You're up before the snooze button, because you're like, okay, I gotta make these reach outs. I gotta make these calls. I'm gonna go see so-and-so. Next thing you know, you're doing stuff that you didn't do. You know why? Because you programmed yourself to do something, to believe something you never thought you could believe before. So the first thing we're gonna think, then we're gonna write, then we're gonna see, then we're going to speak it. We're gonna say it. And this is the way you're gonna do it. I have to tell you guys, I am a coach now. I'm not in network marketing anymore. And one of the things that I created for my clients is a destiny system. And part of it is a gratitude journal. And so the way we speak it is we do our gratitude. We write and we speak it. And in this gratitude journal, it actually is already written out, and it says, I am so happy and grateful now. And every day we write down things that we are happy and grateful for. Tamira loves her. Happy and grateful now for 3 things in the past, 3 things in the present, and 4 things in the future, minimum. And we take 5 minutes a day to set the course. And we see it and we speak it. We write it and we speak it. I'm so happy and grateful now. And do you know what that gratitude practice does every day? This is not holding a rock and just believing. This is an actual practice. And what it does is it actually sets the course for our law of attraction. See, I know I don't even have to ask you. We've all heard of the law of attraction. Everybody knows about the law of attraction. But did you know that that was a secondary law? The law of vibration is the primary law, because wherever you vibrate, that's where you're going to attract. That's why a lot of people don't love the law of attraction anymore. I'm a money magnet. I'm a money magnet. But your mind is thinking, I don't have any money in my bank account. That's low vibration. You're going to keep attracting that. So if you raise your vibration, you can raise the level of your attraction. And guess what the fastest way to raise your vibration? Gratitude. If you start being grateful for what you've had, what you have, and what you will have, your subconscious is like, we can do this. It literally lifts your spirit. It's impossible to be in a bad mood when you focus on what you have to be grateful for. So that's how you're going to write it and speak it. And then we're going to do it. We're going to act. We are going to act, and we are going to do. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I am not one of those people that says, you've got to do 100 reach outs a day. I'm not one of those people that says, you should be talking to 100 people every single minute of every single day. Because what I realize is a lot of those people saying that, they don't have kids. They're not doing homeschool. They're not cooking meals, okay? In fact, most of those people who are saying that, if I can be really real, they have someone homeschooling their kids. They have someone cooking their meals. They didn't have to look for a shirt because it was already folded up where it needed to be. So because of that, I know how to build, and I teach women how to build and have it all. Have the business and wrap it around the rest of their lives. And so with that, what I want you to do is whatever activity you're doing right now, exactly, whatever activity you're doing right now, I want you to actually do it consistently. I want you to do it consistently. Do you know how I made enough money to walk, exactly, Amanda. You know how I made enough money to walk away from my job? I did 2 exposures a day, every single day. 2 exposures a day. I literally made sure every day I told 2 people about my business every day. 2 exposures a day. That's all I did. 2 exposures a day, every day for 30 days is 60 exposures a month. 60 exposures a month is over 700 a year. Good quality exposure. Someone who I said, hey, and they said, yes, I'll look. And then here's the video. And I followed up 700 times. And that was more than enough to walk away from my job of making over $5,000 a month. And that same activity took me to $100,000+ a year. And that same activity took me to a multiple 6-figure income. And guess what? That same activity took me to a multiple 7-figure income. So what I'm going to tell you right now is what you're doing is enough as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I know you're probably told, oh, if you're not reaching out to 50 people a day, you're not going to get enough people. I'm just telling you, make sure you expose 2 people a day, Allie. 2. And what an exposure is not a spammy copy and paste message in someone's messenger that they don't respond to. It's actually making sure they have your sample, they have your link, they have something, and you can have a conversation. So how many reach outs, do a minimum of 2. You want to step it up, do 5. But here's the key. Whatever you do it consistently. Whatever you do, don't stop doing it. Whatever you decide to do it to where it becomes a habit. And that means you have to do it for a minimum of 21 days in a row. How many of you would agree that you'd be further if you didn't stop and start? You'd be further along if you were consistent. You'd be further along if you could literally look through your calendar and say, here, I've done it, I've done it, I've done it. And I'm going to share this with you. That's why I am able to help so many people. I give them a system. I show them exactly how to stay consistent. I make them bulletproof in their belief, and I get them excited about taking action because I understand why we're doing this. We're doing this for our families. We're doing this for our future. We're doing this for the people who didn't believe so we can believe and help them do the same. And so what I need everyone to do is whatever you're doing, it's not about even doing more of it. I need you to do it more consistently because as I coach, and I've coached literally now hundreds of people, I think actually might be over 1,000 people now in the past couple of years in multiple companies and multiple countries. The number one problem is not how to do it. The number one problem is doing it and doing it consistently. That is the key to your success. Let me tell you something, consistency overrides talent any day. I wasn't the most talented. I was just the one who did it the most. I was never number one recruiter. I was never number one salesperson. I was never the best speaker. I wasn't the person with the most influence. I was just the person who never quit. And there are a lot more people who are a lot more talented than me that can never say they made what I made. And so here's how the last thing you're going to do to make this year your best year ever. Because I know it sounds very simple, because I'm sure other people would tell you, look, you need to do this many posts and you need to do this many reach outs and you need to recruit this many people. But I can tell you, if you can believe in you, you can surround your present with the future that you want, and you consistently work towards it every single day from now until the end of the year, you will look up and you will be like, dang it, that Tiffaney, she was right because I rank advanced. She was right because I'm making this. She was right. And 2021, when I thought this wasn't going to be the best year, has turned into the best year. And I'm going to say this, I need you guys to be diligent because this summer is going to be a summer of distractions. It's going to be a summer of distractions. It already is. How many of you can feel it? Can anybody feel it? People are already out. Yes, Jess. People are already out. They have checked out, checked into hotels, checked on the planes, checked out mentally. They are out because it's been 2 years. If we think about it, it's literally been 2 years. Tracy, you could do both, sweetie, but you should take the first few weeks, but help your team because that's what I learned to do. You do it and help other people do it. But I will say this, it's been 2 years since we've had a summer that we didn't have to worry about anything. And it's going to take discipline, consistency, and belief and work to actually overcome a summer. I'm going to tell you guys right now, there are going to be people who give up on their businesses and close the doors of their businesses right now. Some people already have. Some people are like, they don't want to hear about it. They're on vacation. They don't want to do this. And they've already started, but not you, not you. And I'm going to give you this tip. Number one, you will not give up and you will not say that because you know that there are people who still need a job in the summer. You know that there are some people who actually are working 2 jobs during the summer. There are people who can't afford vacations this summer. There are people who want to make sure the holidays are better than last year. There are people who want to move to a new home or a new car. There are people who have said, this is my year, and they don't know how it's going to happen, but they are manifesting you. So you will not close the doors of your business. You will not be the one worried about what people will think if you talk about your opportunity in the summer. In fact, you will be the person that will steal market share, because there's going to be a lot of direct sellers that fall asleep at the wheel, but not you. My business grew every summer because I never closed the doors of my business. And I hope you guys don't do the same. Will do the same. So here's what I want to finish with. I hope this has helped you. I hope, if nothing else, you're ready to move to action. I will tell you, like I said, I'm not a distributor in a company anymore. I actually retired in 2017. I took a sabbatical and for a year to decide, what did I want to do next? Was it going back to build another company, or was it to do something else? And I feel like I was divinely given a new mission. I had been to the top of the company before. I knew how to make money as a distributor, but I really wanted to be able to help others make money as well. I wanted to help others be able to change their lives as well. And so now I am a generic coach, and all I do is coach women, mostly in the profession of network marketing and direct sales. And I focus initially on helping women get that comma in their check. And that is called, we call it the Comma Club, but I created a private group called the Diva 1K Club. And I teach a specific syllabus that I created called Direct Sales Diva University. And step by step by step, I teach exactly what I learned over those 17 years to go from an obscure jelly maker to one of the top income earners in the world, to one of the most well-known speakers in the world, and one of the highest paid income earners in the world. And that's what I'm sharing with you. 2021 can be your year as long as you're plugged into someone who can help you get there. You guys have great support, but if you want more, I'm here. That link is www.diva1kclub.com. Hopefully Tamara knows it. She knows it. It's only $1 a day. It's, yep, that's my link tree. Thanks, that's it. You could go to that. That's where my Destiny System Planner is. That's where the Diva 1K Club is. And the Diva 1K Club is only $1 a day. It's 30 bucks a month. And I intentionally priced it that way because I didn't want anyone to let price stand in the way of their purpose and their future. And so it's month to month, but I can tell you we have over 300 women in there, and the stories are inspiring every day. We have women who have 10x, 20x, and 30x their income. Women who started in my group making $30 to $50 a month, they're now making $5,000 a month. Women who were making 30 bucks a month are now making almost $1,000 a month. Women who had not recruited in a year have now had some of the highest recruiting months ever and are being recognized by their leadership and by their company. I know how to help people build, and I train about half an hour every single day, Monday through Thursday, to give you the next step and the next step and the next step in my syllabus. And I turn women who were giving up on themselves, who thought maybe this wasn't for them, into absolute rock stars. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I would love to have you there, but if you don't need me, because I have got it, just stay focused. Take somebody else with you and don't take your eye off the prize. 2021 is already your best year. Put in the chat, it's already done. It's already done. And if you believe it and you work for it, I promise you, you will definitely achieve it. So thank you for your time. I hope this helped you. It definitely helped me seeing all of your amazing faces. And Julie, I appreciate you, sis. Tamara, my diva, thanks for making this happen. And Julie, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, I have like seriously 4 full pages of notes over here. I was like, I couldn't write fast enough. And I know I already have messages coming in from my team, just like, oh my gosh, that was just exactly what I needed. And honestly, I feel like that really was. When I was looking through some of your images while we were live, a couple of you were crying. I know this moved you. And so like, I'm just really proud of you guys for taking the time on a Wednesday night to be present in your business. And to me, that means you are ready to make this your best year yet. So I am so proud of you for even showing up tonight. You guys, I will make sure that I get that link tree from Tiffaney in case you want to have the journal, or you want to use her for the 1K, I think she said 1K Diva Club. If you guys want to do that, then I will give you the information. Thank you for being a part of this. Now, I want you guys to go write it down, what she was saying, write it down, and then take a picture and tag her and tag me and show us what you are ready to do this year. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much, Tiffaney, for being our guest speaker tonight.
My pleasure. Good night, you guys. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.